Hi, welcome to Real Estate with Beth and Ben. I'm Beth Riebensdorf, founder of the Reedy Homes team.
And I'm Benjamin Gottlieb, founder of the law firm McQueen and Gottlieb.
So Ben, with appreciation going the way it is and a lot of investors in the Arizona market, we're seeing more and more investors looking at not just long-term rentals, but short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, because the return on investment is so high. That is all good. However, we're also seeing a lot of changes in short-term rentals in the city statutes and in HOAs. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is an incredibly interesting area of the law, Beth. Very, very popular, very controversial. You either love short-term rentals or you have a neighbor who operates one and you hate them.
Right.
There's several keys to know here in Arizona about short-term rentals. One is, by state law, cities and towns cannot enact a code or ordinance to prohibit the operation of short-term rentals. For example, the town of Paradise Valley, or the city of Scottsdale came forth with some kind of ordinance that attempted to prohibit anybody from operating a short-term rental. That code would be in violation of state law. However, with respect to homeowners associations, the law does not prevent the community from coming together and passing an amendment to the CC&Rs in order to prohibit short-term rentals from operating in that HOA community. So that would be found valid and enforceable in a court of law. And so a lot of HOAs are catching on, and they are mustering up the votes and signatures needed for amendment to the CC&Rs. Of course, language needs to be specific and clear in prohibiting short-term rentals, but once that amendment is passed and recorded, it becomes valid and enforceable. So it's an interesting issue. And then a corollary of that, Beth, is you do have investors moving into HOA communities where short-term rentals are permitted. And as Beth pointed out, there's a premium that's being paid for these properties because short-term rentals are so lucrative. And then several months or maybe a year or two after the purchase, the HOA bans short-term rentals. So the question there is, does that investor have grandfathered rights? And as we've talked about before, there are situations where there could be an argument for grandfathered rights, but it's very possible a court could look at that and say, wait a minute, the original CC&Rs had a vehicle to procedurally amend the CC&Rs, and this investor was aware of the risks that the HOA could tap into those amendment procedures and effect an amendment prohibiting short-term rentals, and therefore there are no grandfathered rights. So you're going to have some happy HOA members and a really unhappy investor. It's really important that these investors understand their legal rights prior to making that investment decision.
Yep. Thanks, Ben. Good information.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.